This is going to be the week 2 and week 3 of the goal setting for Crush 2021. This is goal setting stuff that I do every year, and every year just keeps getting better. So I've tried to organize it because I was going to do it again for 2021, and I thought, what if I could organize it and share it and just kind of make it more of a, hey, let's all crush goals together. So we've got a couple of worksheets. I just wanted to throw that at the beginning so you guys could find them as we go, instead of the meeting just ending and not having a chance to do it. Okay, so this is how I start my year every year, with the phrase, welcome to the best year of my life. And I really want to get you guys to say that out loud. Welcome to the best year of my life.
Welcome to the best year of my life.
We're the best year of my life.
When I started saying this at the beginning of every year became the best year of my life. And every year kept getting better. So this is a really powerful phrase. So I wanted to start with it every time.
Love it.
So last time, and I think I sent both of you guys a link to the video. Last time, we talked about what you can do. And it came down to, what are you committed to? What does a commitment look like? What are you capable of? And the homework there, we basically looked back at our life and looked for highlights for our year and for our life to say, for example, for me, one of the highlights of my life, or one of the biggest things I ever did, was when I was 17, I moved from South Carolina to Vancouver, BC to go to college on my own. And ultimately I went to another country, and it was a life-changing decision, which changed the trajectory of my life. But it lets me know what I'm capable of. Looking back at that, I'm capable of just moving to another country and making it work, and then walking away with a career. So if you kind of look back at what you've done in the past, you can remember, remind yourself, what am I capable of? So when you start setting goals for this year, you can set them based on what you know you're capable of, what you've done in the past. And the last part of the homework from last time was what's holding you back. And that was a segment on identifying your blind spots and kind of breaking them down, because everybody has blind spots. Odds are you can identify other people's blind spots very easily, but it's kind of hard to see your own. So it was an exercise that involved talking to friends that you trust to help them identify your blind spots so you can tackle them moving forward. So basically, last time was all about what can you do. This time, it's going to be, what do you want? That's the theme of this whole first hour here. And we're going to go over, what's your dream? We're going to talk about vision, mission, and your big why. And we're going to talk about how to define the life you want. So this is where I start with dreams. You can't fit a big dream in a small life. And that is huge. When you realize what it is you really want to do, you're going to realize that the life you're in doesn't support it. You're going to have to grow into your dream. So don't be afraid of that. In fact, look for that. You can't fit a big dream in a small life. When I was living in South Carolina, I couldn't be a software engineer making games until I moved to the West Coast. And my life just got bigger. So don't be afraid of that. So here's an example. Martin Luther King Jr., I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but the content of their character. That's what I'm talking about when I say, what's your dream? It's, what do I want in the world, and who do I want to be? Who do I have to be to get the world to change? I understand that your dream may or may not be as this big, okay? And I'm not telling you it has to be this big. I'm just trying to give you examples of what dreams could look like. My dream when I was 17 was to make video games for a living. And that was a totally valid dream that I followed, and all the way to fruition. So one of Jason's dreams might have been to be an artist. Was that true, Jason?
Actually, it was, yeah.
Yeah, and at some point it was a dream, and then you had to grow into that, and it became a reality. And now you are an artist. It went from I want to be to I am. Again, you can't fit a big dream in a small life. So what is your dream? And the question here is, did you forget it? Consider that the dream that you want may have been something that you came up with 20 years ago. And along the way, you kind of like life kind of pushed you around and you maybe shrunk it a little bit or gave up on it entirely. But what was your dream if that's the case? Did you forget it? Because you can still do it. In fact, you are now 10 or 20 years ahead. Like you're more experienced. The chances of achieving your dream are probably 10 times better now than they were back then. And I already said that. Did you give up on it? I'm going to use the word dream and vision statement, and I'm going to kind of use them interchangeably. Okay? So I just want to make sure I make it clear. When I use the word dream and I use the word vision, I'm pretty much talking about the same thing. If you did like a Google search on the word vision statement, you're going to get a lot of material, and it's going to be a lot more like corporate, kind of like how do you put this together to do type stuff. So I just want to make sure you know that if you want to Google around, vision statement is probably what you're going to Google on. But ultimately, that's your dream. Your vision statement is what you want your life to look like. All right. And that's exactly what a dream is, what you want. A vision statement, the word statement means you're taking your dream and it's going to be your dream clearly written. It's usually a sentence, maybe two. And that's important because the fewer words you have, the more concise you're forced to be. Once you can put it into words, you're one step closer to making it come true. I want to make it clear that your dream is not someone else's dream for you. I know that all three of us are adults now, but it doesn't change the fact that you might still have things lingering in your head from childhood where your parents were pushing their dreams on you or pushing an idea of what your life should look like that you never got a chance to question or rethink. So I just want to call it out just in case. Your vision statement, it's your dream clearly written, and it's not someone else's dream for you. It's your dream for you. Your mission statement is how you will get there. And I'm going to have examples for all these in a second here. So what are you going to do every day? For example, Jason is an artist. At one point in time, he probably committed to, I'm going to draw so many sketches a day, or I'm going to practice so much a day. I'm going to get this much reference and practice it every day. I'm going to post on these websites every week. Like those are the sorts of things. Like, what are you going to do every day to make your dream come true? With Alex, I noticed that you recently had a list of, I'm going to call, I think it was 100 people to have a sales conversation, right? That's the same idea. It's like, what are you going to do every day? And that becomes part of your mission. A big part of your mission is, how will you serve others using your skills? Okay, we all have skills that are unique to us. And the day you realize how to use your skills to serve others is the day you just kind of like unlock life and your impact on the world and how you can change the world. Just to recap there, your vision is the what. It's what you want. Your mission is the how. It's how you're going to do things. Both of these things are uniquely you. So I'm going to give you some examples of some vision statements. So first, I'll read it to you and I want to see if you guys can guess what they are. So vision, to create the most compelling car company of the 21st century by driving the world's transition to electric vehicles.
Yes.
Vision.
Obviously GM.
Mission, to accelerate the advent of sustainable transport by bringing compelling mass market electric cars to the market as soon as possible. And we already guessed, that's Tesla. Can you see the vision? The vision is what they want. The mission is how, right? It says, literally in the mission, it says, by bringing compelling mass market electric cars to market as soon as possible. That's the mission. And the vision, the reason they're doing that is because of the vision for electric cars. So here's another one. Vision, to become the world's most loved, most flown, and most profitable airline. Mission, The highest quality of customer service delivered with a sense of warmth, friendliness, individual pride, and company spirit. So I think that this is poorly written because the mission ends with company spirit. I'll give you a hint. This is not Spirit Airlines. It's Southwest.
Do you know what their stock ticker symbol is? Or
Southwest or Spirit?
Southwest.
What?
LUV. If you look them up.
That's cool. That's
yeah.
Cool. I've got one more here. Vision: to be the Earth's most consumer-centric company where customers can find and discover anything they want to buy online. Mission: we strive to offer our customers the lowest possible prices, the best available selection, and the utmost convenience. Who would you guess that one is?
Bezos and Amazon.
Amazon. For a company, these are visions and missions, right? We're going to talk about personal visions and personal missions. But I wanted to start with this to give you an idea of how big it can get when you have the right vision and the right mission.
Are these the original visions, or are these the ones that you just found most recently?
I found these online most recently. I'm not sure if they're the original. That's a good question. Okay, so let's move on to personal vision statements and personal mission statements. So I'm going to give you some examples. A computer on every desk in every home. That was Bill Gates. Anyone can move to the moon, Mars, and eventually outer planets. And gasoline cars will be like steam engines, as in obsolete. That's Elon Musk. Again, those are some big names. I'm going to give you some more less gigantic vision statements now. To make a life and a living as an artist. That could be a vision statement. To retire in a tropical climate with no worries. That could be a vision statement. To travel the world with a backpack and friends. To not have any goals or expectations and embrace what I want in every moment. That's actually my friend Katrina. She literally refuses to make goals. And when I asked her about it, this was her vision statement: to not have any goals or expectations and embrace what I want in every moment. That's a hell of a vision statement. And if you know her, like Alex has met her, she lives it. She embodies this. To be surrounded by my tribe and be an active member of our community. Like that's huge. As soon as you define what your tribe is, that can be an amazing vision statement. Crappy vision statements. To make a lot of money. That is a vision statement. Do not do that. To be successful. That is another crappy one. Because what does successful even mean? And the whole point of a vision statement is that you're defining success for you. To have a Tesla and a house with a pool and other things, AKA to have stuff. That is a crappy vision statement. Collecting junk will never make you feel fulfilled, right? And yes, the idea of I want a Tesla can power you and can get you really far, but one day you'll get the Tesla. And your next statement will be, I want another thing. And you're going to be stuck on a treadmill. Like with money, to make a lot of money means you're always going to be stuck on that treadmill trying to make more money. You'll never be happy. If it's to be successful, if you don't define success, you'll never be successful. And a lot of times success is usually someone else's definition of success. You have to really watch out for that. And to have a Tesla or a list of stuff means you will always have another thing you're chasing. And you'll never feel fulfilled. You'll never be happy until you get that next thing. But the moment you get it, you won't be happy because you'll want another thing. So I want to call these out. These ones are like very dangerous. So if you're anywhere near any of these, be prepared to take things to the next level. And we're going to go into that. Another crappy vision statement is to be happy, or to live happily ever after. Those are really crappy vision statements because they gate happiness to only be in the future. You are allowed to be happy today. I want to say that very clearly. You are allowed to be happy today. In fact, you should choose to be happy today and also have a vision of your life and be happy the whole way there, the whole journey. So those were some dangerous ones. To get to your specific vision, ask yourself, what do I want? And then ask yourself again, what do I want? And ask yourself again, what do I want? And just keep doing it. Like, what do I want? Okay, I want a Tesla, right? Okay, well, I know I can't stop there because that's just stuff. Why do I want a Tesla? Like, let's keep talking about it. I want this, I want this. Just all the things you want, just get them out there. Focus on who do you want to be? That's very clear. Who do you want to be? Again, I wanted to be a software engineer making games. Jason wanted to be an artist, right? Who do you want to be is way more powerful than a list of stuff or a profession or something like that. What kind of life do you want to live, right? Define your best life, a day in your best life. Don't be afraid to define it, and permission yourself to be honest. If your best day is, I want to wake up and do nothing all day because I have the choice to do that, then make that part of your vision. And your mission will be part of getting you there. So one day you can do nothing, if that's what you want. If you want to run a giant company and be a CEO, then write that down. Where do you want to live? That's really important. The sooner you identify the kind of life you want and where it is located, the sooner you can start making plans to get there. It took me a long time to realize, actually, I want to live in a major city that has an international airport that doesn't have snow, where I can retire, and also has a nightlife. And that's how I ended up in Vegas personally. I thought I thought I was going to end up in like LA or San Francisco. And I did. I went through LA, I went through San Francisco. But eventually I realized, actually, Vegas is where I want to be. It's got everything that I want. People are going to come visit me. I no longer have to go visit them. And on top of that, I have an international airport, and the cost of living is way cheaper than California, et cetera, et cetera. The day you identify where you want to live, the sooner you'll get there. Maybe where you want to live involves snow, right? So you can look into that. How do you want to live, right? Perhaps you want a hashtag van life, like our friend Jen, or perhaps you want to live in a mansion. Like if you can identify that and be honest with yourself, then you could actually start moving towards it. When do you want it? When do you want to start living? And that's, I mean, I hope that's a trick question. I hope it's like now. I hope it's right away. But think about that. When do you want to start stepping into your vision? And again, go beyond money, success, and a list of stuff. You'll be very happy you did. If I can get you to pull your phone out and just take a photo of this or a screenshot this is part of your homework. I want you to write down your vision. And the way you're going to do that is you're going to ask, what do I want, a bunch of times. You're going to focus in on who, what, where, how, and when. And you're not going to stop at money, success, or a list of stuff. Cool? Here's an example. This is my vision statement from 2015. This is about the time that I met Jason, actually. So I am a billionaire philanthropist. I think big and I live big. I think big because you can't fit a big dream in a small life, and I live big because I earned it. My vision statement has changed since then. This was a point in time where I was very, very into investing. I thought the path to being successful involved having a lot of money. And this vision statement got me really far. Like this vision statement got me retired off of an investment portfolio. Okay. But what I want to call out here is that this is no longer my vision statement. And your vision statement will be the right thing for you right now, but let it evolve. Don't be afraid to let it evolve. It doesn't have to be the one-time be-all answer. It doesn't have to be perfect.
So the vision and the mission can change with time as you figure stuff out, right?
Yeah, you are going to learn and grow. And as you do, you'll realize, you know what? I tried that thing and I don't really want it. And you can change your direction. You're allowed to pivot. Don't get stuck on trying to be perfect right out of the gate. Allow yourself some room to grow and just write something so you have a starting point and know that you can always update it as you go. So next, we're going to talk about what were you put on this planet to do? And I know that's a really big statement, but this is where it comes down to is like, what is my mission in life? What is it unique about me that I can give the world? Because as soon as you can identify that, the sooner you will realize that there is zero competition out there. No one can ever be you but you. And once you home in on that, then you can just be you as loud as possible and just push for whatever it is you do best. And there's no competition anymore. So this comes down to what's your life's purpose? And again, I know this is a big question, and I don't want you guys to get crippled with big questions. I don't want you to get crippled with trying to get the perfect answer. I just want you to start asking these questions. When you start asking yourself good questions, that's how people can improve themselves and become bigger, right? You can judge the size of a person based on the size of the questions they ask themselves. The people who challenge themselves with questions like these, you get like Bill Gates style answers. The people who never ask themselves these questions, they don't do with their life. So getting back to what's your purpose? The meaning of life is to find your gift. The purpose of life is to give it away. This is the best statement I have ever heard for what is the meaning of life or what is the purpose of life. The meaning of life is to find your gift, your unique gifts. And the purpose of life is to give them away. As soon as you can do that, you will just unlock your life, your potential, everything. It's amazing. Once you discover your gifts and realize how to give them away, the money follows. It just does. So your mission statement is what you were put on this earth to do. So we've talked about dream, we've talked about your vision statement, which are kind of the same thing, and now we're talking about your mission statement. It's how you will uniquely impact the world. Here's some examples. To make a contribution to the world by making tools for the mind that advance humankind. That's Steve Jobs. To be a teacher, to be known for inspiring my students to be more than they thought they could be. That's Oprah Winfrey's mission statement. I want to serve the people. I want every girl, every child to be educated. I don't know how to say her name, but she's an activist. If something is important enough, you should try, even if its probable outcome is failure. That's Elon Musk's mission statement. And I love that. It's okay to fail. Like run towards failure. The sooner you fail, the sooner you're going to grow and learn lessons. I love this one. To have fun in my journey through life and learn from my mistakes. That's Richard Branson. Here's a couple more. To make people happy. That was Walt Disney's personal mission statement. To use my gifts of intelligence, charisma, and serial optimism to cultivate the self-worth and net worth of women around the world. That's one of the founders of dailyworth.com. To help people find hope after loss. Founder of Open to Hope. Not merely to survive, but to thrive, and to do so with some passion, some compassion, some humor, and some style. To treat people how you want to be treated. That's one of Harley Davidson's dealership CEOs. And honestly, that last one I put there because that's one of my missions in life is to it's basically the golden rule. Treat people the way you want to be treated. And it's gotten me a lot of success actually, especially in the workplace. Okay, so let's play a quick game. I want you to brainstorm and fill in these blanks. So what are some roles? Like a role is something like often like a profession. A role is awesome, like an I am statement. So for example, I am a brother. I am an employee. I'm a manager. I'm a software engineer. I'm an artist. I'm a masseuse, right? Those are all roles. I want you to think about the roles in your life. What roles do you play? And what roles do you want to be playing? And just write down 2 or 3 roles and go for like what you want to do with your life type stuff. And I'll give you like 30 seconds to do that. All right, after you got a couple roles, write down some skills. What are some skills that you have? And they may or not apply to these roles, but for example, like I know Alex, one of your skills is that you're a promoter. You're friggin' amazing at just bringing the excitement getting other people excited, enrolling others. Like that's definitely some of your skills. So write down a few of your skills. Like, okay, this last two kind of go together. So an outcome is what you want to see happen. And I want you to think about that around a group of people. So for example, Alex and I are both fire spinners. So an outcome could be, I want to create a humongous fire spinning event for all of our Burning Man and firemen or fire spinning communities, right? That could be an outcome for a group. So what kind of outcomes do you want to create in life and in the world? One of the outcomes that I'm personally creating is that I have that YouTube channel, the Kinky Poly Atheist, and I'm creating a tribe of people who are kinky, poly, and or atheist to have a place to congregate and share ideas. And my whole point is I want to dispel shame around sex, relationships, and spirituality for that group of people. And I'm going to create that community. Okay, so on this next screen, I'm going to use this example. I'm going to say the role is a chef. Okay, the role is a chef. The skills are culinary arts, nutrition, and leadership skills. The outcome this person is after is to create healthy and affordable meals for obese children and adults. So the group is obese children and adults. Does that sound good? So getting to your personal mission statement. All we're going to do is fill in the blanks. And this is just going to be a bunch of examples of how the sentence could fall together. And you just kind of like go with what kind of you gravitate towards. So here's an example. What were you put on this earth to do? To serve a role by encouraging an outcome and improving the lives of a group. So with my example of a chef, to serve as a chef by encouraging healthy and affordable meals and improving the lives of obese children and adults. You see how that could be a powerful mission statement? These next couple bullet points, it's just going to be like juggling this around a little bit to whatever sounds best for you. So for example, to use my culinary, nutrition, and leadership skills to inspire obese children and adults around the world to make healthy and affordable meals. To use my gifts as a chef to educate obese children and adults. There's another way to say it. To inspire everyone to create healthy and affordable meals through my culinary, nutrition, and leadership skills. And here's another one. To create healthy and affordable meals to inspire obese children and adults around the world. To bring healthy and affordable meals to the world through my skills of culinary, nutrition, and leadership skills. So all of those would be like what a format for a personal mission statement could look like. And I'd like you to take a photo of this screen so that you have all of these examples. Can I get a thumbs up when everyone's, if I see Alex still taking a photo? As part of your homework, you're going to be playing with this, and I just want to make sure you had really good reference here. Would anybody care to take a stab at this? Would anybody be willing to share if they plugged in the blanks for one of these statements?
I got one. To serve as a role model by encouraging self-love and self-care and improving the lives of everyone.
Beautiful, beautiful. Anybody else care to share? You don't have to. You want to share, Melissa?
Yeah, okay.
You gotta unmute. There you go.
To serve as a healer by encouraging herbal remedies, juicing, and movement to improve the lives of trauma survivors.
That's awesome. That's totally awesome. All right, so moving forward, this is something called the golden circle, and this comes straight out of Simon Sinek's Start With Why TED Talk, which is a pretty powerful TED Talk. I recommend it. I'm going to give you the high level of it. Okay. The idea here is you have this circle. You have what, how, and why. And most companies start at the top and work their way down, if they even work their way all the way down. So a moment ago, we were talking about the vision statements and the missions of companies. So your vision is your what, and I'm just going to overlay these. Your vision is your what, your how is your life's mission or your company mission, and your why is you're doing it because of something. So for example, I think we had Tesla. Tesla's what was to make electric cars. How they were going to do it was that they were going to push to basically get them to be first to market. And they didn't really tell us their why. Does that make sense? You're going to hear that a lot. You're going to notice that a lot of companies give you their what and their how, but they don't give you their why. What Simon Sinek really focuses on is why. Why are you doing what you do? And when you tell people about what you do, he wants you to start with why and work your way backwards. Start with why, tell them how you do things, and your vision for the world. Okay, and so I'm just going to throw up some examples from earlier in this presentation. So my vision is to make a life and a living as an artist. How? My mission is to inspire everyone to long for the sea with my paintings. But why? Here's another one. My vision is to travel the world with a backpack and friends. My mission is to bring dance to the world. But why? My vision is not to have any goals or expectations and embrace what I want in this moment. My mission is to have fun in the journey through life and learn from my mistakes. But why? My vision is to retire in a tropical climate with no worries. My mission is to make tools for the mind that advance humankind. But again, why? So this is the next thing we're going to focus on. You're going to have your dream. You're going to have the things that you're awesome at, your unique contribution to the world, and how no one will ever be able to compete with you. But you need to know why you're doing it, okay? And the reason is your dream is powered by your why. The bigger your why is, the bigger your reason is, the more powerful your dreams become and the more powerful you become to making them come true. So here's my 2015, my big why statement. I am the hero I never had. I love big and I give big because love is a verb and because we rise by lifting others. This statement, it drove me not only in the workplace, but also for my side vision, which was to retire off of investment portfolios. And the way I did that was I tried to find ways to help others. And I tried to stick with love as a verb. So every time I had, say, a house that was all broken and someone's in a really tight spot, I came in there under love big, right? This person is in a tight spot and I'm going to do everything I can to help them. And in helping them, if it helps me too, then they're happy, I'm happy. We did a deal where everyone wins, and it never comes back to bite you, if that makes sense. If everybody wins, then people are happy to see you successful because you made sure their life was awesome too. So this was my vision statement for a very long time. So I'm going to take those the ones we had in that target a moment ago, and I'm just going to relist them. So here's an example. My vision is to make a life and a living as an artist. My life mission is to inspire everyone to long for the sea with my paintings. Because why? Because I used to go sailing with my grandfather, and it was the best moments of my life. Can you see how that works? Can you see how that powers everything? Now read them backwards. Because I used to go sailing with my grandfather, and it was the best moments of my life. My mission in life is to inspire everyone to long for the sea with my paintings, and my vision is to make a life and a living as an artist. Can you see how that works? So I'm going to throw up the other ones real quick and just read them backwards. Because my stepmother took dance away from me as a kid, now I want to give it to every kid. My mission is to bring dance to the world, and my vision is to travel the world with a backpack and friends. Because I was a workaholic for 20 years and then had a heart attack, I now refuse to miss out on life. My mission is to have fun in my journey through life and learn from my mistakes. My vision is to not have any goals or expectations and embrace what I want in this moment. Because I was the dumb kid growing up back in Maine, but it turned out I had a learning disability, my mission in life is to make tools for the mind that advance humankind. And my vision is to retire in a tropical climate with no worries. Can you see how that why statement powers both of those, even though they're totally different? The mission is to create tools, but the vision is to retire somewhere with a warm climate. But the why is because as a kid, they were told they were dumb and they lived in Maine. And Maine's got a lot of snow, right? So it makes sense that they would be like, no, I want to retire in a warm climate. So when you discover your why, it powers everything. And when you have that power, that fire in your heart, and you have your mission, which is the thing that you uniquely can do that no one can ever compete with you on, now you have something that no one can compete with you and a fire in your belly that's going to push you forward and a vision of where you're going. Does that make sense? So your dream is powered by your why. Homework. Your homework is, I want you to dream big, real big, because you can't fit a big dream in a small life. So dream bigger, okay? If you thought you were dreaming big, dream bigger than that. And again, think back in your life. What are some of your major accomplishments? What are some of the highlights of your life that you never thought would be possible, but looking back, holy crap, it was possible. I did do it, and it changed my life. Because that's the kind of dreams that you can still take on. You can still change your life. You can still pick a dream that you have to grow into. So as part of your homework, I want you to say, don't let the tamed ones tell you how to live. And I want you to read that again. Don't let the tamed ones tell you how to live. Because if you think about it, domesticated humans are like housebroken pets. Wolves don't listen to chihuahuas. Does that make sense? All the people out there who are going to try to tell you not to follow your dreams or how you should and shouldn't do things, they're the ones who gave up on their dreams. They're the ones that allowed themselves to be housebroken, right, by our society. And you will never learn how to chase your dreams from those people. They will never give you the advice to chase your dreams because they don't know how. They gave up. So don't listen to those people. So pick a dream so big that you must grow into it. You must become somebody to achieve it. And when you do achieve it, you'll realize you have become more than you were previously. Who do you have to become to reach your dream? For finding your big why, with your vision of what you want, keep asking yourself why. And start your answers with because. Get emotional, get pissed off, get real with yourself, right? Remember the example earlier, because I was told I was stupid as a kid, and it turned out I had a learning disability, right? That kind of a why involves being pissed off. And that's the kind of stuff that's going to get you moving, as well as dreams, as well as emotional things. One of my whys for a very long time was not money, okay? It was, I don't want to be poor anymore because I grew up poor. And the day I was like, I will never live this life, the life that my parents are living. The day I get out of here, I will never come back to be this poor living and this poor lifestyle. It wasn't about, I'm going to make a bunch of money and be successful. It was, I will never live this lifestyle again. And that drove me really far for a really long time. So keep in mind that it's emotional, but it's the negative things, but it's also the positive things. So pull all the emotions in, because the more emotions you pile up, the stronger it's going to be. With your mission of how you will impact the world, again, I want you to ask yourself why. Why is it you want to change the world like this? Why is it you have these skills? And start all your answers with because. Get emotional again. In both cases, I want you to dig deep. And what I mean by that is I want you to go at least 5 whys deep. So, for example, if I say I want to start a YouTube channel called Kinky Poly Atheist, and I ask myself why, it's because, well, I didn't realize I was these things, or I was afraid to admit them out loud. Okay, well, why? Well, because society was telling me that I should be ashamed of these things. Okay, why? Well, because religion and people and family and parents and friends, they all have these programs running in their head that's all based on shame. Like our society pushes shame on everybody, right? And I ask myself, okay, well, what I really want is I want to break shame. So I want to make a YouTube channel, Kinky Poly Atheist, because I want to break people out of being ashamed of who they are. I want every person to stand up, be who they are as loud as possible, and not be ashamed of it, and say "F you" to anybody who would try to shame them for being who they are. Right? Can you feel the why there? Right? It builds and it drives you. And once you let it drive you, there's no stopping you. Right? And the thing that I happen to be doing is I happen to be making YouTube videos and things like that because I am a content creator. It's one of the things I've admitted about myself. I love to write. I love to make videos. I love to share information. So it turns out I'm a content creator and I want to share with the world a shame-free living. And it just started coming together. And that's where Kinky Poly Atheist was born. Right? And it's already doing bigger than I ever expected. Right? I've already got people sharing my videos and it's getting bigger and I've got subscribers and suddenly I have a podcast and people are rallying behind me because I'm passionate about it. My emotions are involved. They hear my emotions, they hear my excitement, and they can't help but chain react with me. And that can be you on whatever your dream is and whatever your why is and whatever your unique impact on the world is. And again, I just want to throw in there, never stop at money or success when it comes to your why. When you say, I want this, and you ask yourself why, if your answer is money or success, don't stop. Keep asking why. Go deeper than 5 if you have to. And here's another one which I'd like you to take a photo of so that you have these tools when you're looking for your own why. Okay, so part of your homework, there's a worksheet. It's in the chat. I just realized that Melissa was chatting the whole time. How do you tap into that? I definitely get crippled from it. What can you want to like recap what that comment was about so I can give you an answer there?
Yeah, earlier you were talking about how certain topics, like what do you want to do? What are you meant to do this lifetime?
Yeah.
Those are questions really cripple me, and I feel like I'm supposed to do something big, and I just fall apart. And then what you said after, like those people end up, doing nothing, and I was like, oh my God, that's me.
Well, you're allowed to do nothing. I want to make that clear too. You're allowed to be happy. You don't have to be trying to achieve something to be happy or successful or any of those things. It's just a matter of what makes you feel fulfilled. And when you said earlier what your mission statement was or your attempt at a mission statement when you were filling in the blanks, that was a pretty good example. Like that's a step in the right direction right there. So start there and see where it starts to bring you and know that I don't want to say that you'll never get it right, but you'll always be evolving. And that's a good thing, right? Instead of being crippled because it's not perfect and crippled because it's too big or whatever, take comfort in the fact that no, I'm on my journey and this is my direction right now. And as I learn more and improve, I'm naturally going to start pivoting a little bit left and right as my destination changes and my skills improve, right? And the things that fuel me become more and more clear. So yeah, everything that you're concerned about is a valid concern. And I'm glad you're saying that because that means you are looking in the right spots. You are thinking big. Just don't cripple yourself with the big, if that makes sense.
Thank
Cool.
you so much.
Awesome. Let's see. So just getting back to the homework, in the chat, there's a link to Google Docs. There's 2 documents in there. One is the homework for this first module, and one is the homework for the second hour. And basically, this first document is super simple. It's just like a list of parts of your life and gives you a chance to write down what's your vision for each of these parts. And by doing that, it breaks this gigantic problem down into smaller bites. So for example, one of the things on the worksheet is health and fitness. What's your vision? What's your vision for your health and fitness? And it could be, I don't ever want to go outside. I don't ever want to run, but I don't ever want to have a heart attack either. And you could start with that, and it could lead you to whatever you need to do to make sure that you don't have to go outside, but also you don't end up with a heart attack. And once you break those down into pieces, you can kind of read that first column and get a really good idea of the vision for your life. And from there, you can start like, work it again, see if I can kind of bring this more and more into focus. And that's going to be the game, like for the rest of your life. The game is going to be, how do I get this just a little bit more in focus? And 10 years from now, you'll say, oh, I've got such a great thing, but you know what? Can I get it a little bit more in focus? And the more every year when you do that, you're going to find yourself going more and more to the things that power you, that make you feel fulfilled and successful. As part of your homework, using the photos you took, take a stab at your vision, your mission, and your why. And we just had that conversation again. I understand that they can be so big, they can be overwhelming, but they don't have to be. So don't let it, just write something and then try something else and know that you're allowed to make mistakes and it's going to get better. After you do that, I literally want you to sleep on it, right? I don't want you to pound on this for 12 hours. Give yourself maybe an hour limit so you don't exhaust yourself or get caught in analysis paralysis, because that's where I get caught. Take a stab at it, get something out there in an hour, sleep on it. And then a day or 2 later, just do it again. Maybe give yourself less time, maybe 30 minutes. Honestly, the things that come out, the things that were like come from your gut, those are probably the right answers. The answers that you keep questioning and rewriting, those are your mind getting in the way, right? So it's like something from your past is trying to change your mind and not listen to your gut. Listen to your gut, listen to your heart, just get it out. And then if you could, take a photo of this one. So, okay, so bonus. This is not a requirement, this is a suggestion. This is my dream board from 2015. And it's got the elements that I showed you earlier. It's got love big, give big, think big, live big, which were parts of my vision statement and my mission statement. It's covered with photos of things that drive me, right? If you look at this board, it's not going to set a fire in your heart the way it does for me. And that's fine. I am good with that, because this sets a fire in my heart. And you could do the same thing. You could start collecting photos, whether they be newspaper clippings or just Google searches for images, Google searches for like powerful quotes that resonate with you. I find that a lot of your why, I can almost guarantee you, will be photos of people you love, especially if you have kids, right? So just start collecting them. And maybe it'll be like, you find yourself on Facebook and something goes by and you're like, I liked that. And you just save that photo or hit print, whatever it is. But just start collecting them and let them build, because it's a really great way to reconnect with that fire in your heart and help you discover, what is the fire in my heart? What's the picture I'm building here? Because I don't even know yet, right? This started with a photo of me and a couple of good friends and turned into a photo of everyone who was at my wedding, and turned into a photo of all the people I went to Venice with, and turned into a photo of my camp from Burning Man, right? It just got bigger and bigger and bigger. So just let it, right? And there's no rush. Also at the bottom, you can see I put welcome to the best year of my life.
Also look at the how much weight you've lost there, buddy.
Yeah.
Great job.
Can you see on the right side? I photoshopped my face on some Success magazine covers.
Yep.
Right? Don't be afraid to do that. There's another one in the middle there on the right. I took a photo of a surfer and photoshopped my head on his body because I was fat and I hated it. And I wanted a surfer body and I wanted to surf. And you know what? I went and learned how to surf. And I went on a week-long surfing vacation and found out, you know what? I hate surfing. And I was like, great, I'm glad I learned that lesson. And this photo is no longer on my dream board. Now it's a photo of a snowboarder because I also love snowboarding way more. So that's one of those things where don't be afraid to pick a direction and discover, you know what? It's not for me. I'm glad I
We're
learned
still
that.
surfing, man. It's just on the frozen water, not the moving water.
Yeah. Surfing is so much energy for like 2 seconds. And snowboarding, all you do is stand up.
And no guarantee either, right? You might not ever get that wave at all, you know?
Exactly. You may never get that wave. So yeah, so that's the sort of things you can do. You can pick things that are like the you that you want to be and literally just put your face on them. And if it turns out to be not quite what you thought, that's fine. Cover it with another photo. That's totally cool. Again, that's all optional. Here is my 2020 dream board. And you can see that there are some elements that still stuck around. It still says dream big on it, right? It still says love is a verb. It still says don't let the tamed ones tell you how to live. It's got that heart on fire. It's got a lot of the same elements, but some of the photos of people have changed. Now it says kinky polyatheist on it. Now it has a photo of a little kid pretending to be a bear. Because one of the things I've done this last year is really get in touch with like the kid inside and all of that monstrous energy that kids have that as adults, as we get housebroken, we're taught to stop doing. So I'm getting that back. I'm getting in touch with that again. So again, like it doesn't have to be that I'm gonna go back a frame. It doesn't have to be this nice, pretty board where everything's laid out perfectly like I did the first time, which honestly was overthinking the whole damn thing. It can literally be, I printed out some photos and I stuck them on my wall. So that's exactly what this is. And this started with that photo in the center of that little kid and the bear. And I just started posting more and more photos as things just felt right. And now this is what I see every morning. So as bonus homework, start a dream board. And if you need a reminder, go ahead and take a photo of this slide. Again, please say this, welcome to the best year of my life. When you're doing your homework, say it to yourself, welcome to the best year of my life. And it will become the best year of your life. And you can do that every year.
Oh my God, I'm gonna cry. Don't say that.
Summary of this one, we talked about what do you want? And that breaks down into what's your dream, what's your vision, your mission, and your big why. And how do you define the life you want? And that's the homework page where you're gonna write down your vision for these different aspects of your life and then write down your why behind every single one of those. So you can start to tease out what is it I want, what does it look like, and what's powering that. In the next part, we're gonna talk about how to define success. So once we understand what our dream is, or an idea of our dream, again, does not have to be perfect. Once we have an idea of what our dream could be, once we have an idea of what our unique contribution to the world is, once we have an idea of what our whys are, we're going to talk about how to define success. How do you take your dream and turn it into something written? We're going to use something called OKRs. I'm going to talk about OKRs versus goals. They're kind of the same, but OKRs just have more of that why powering them. And then we're going to talk about what numbers are worth tracking to make sure you're going in the right direction to achieve your dreams. So that's what we're going to do in the second hour here. I'm going to pause right here and say we could take like a 10-minute break. Okay, I was just going to give you a quick look. I printed out that worksheet I was talking about. So this is the homework for the first module. And you can see here it says, area of life. My life as a whole, my dream, vision, what I want. And you just down that list is, am I living my mission? What does the mission for my life look like? Again, just take a stab at it. Health and fitness, personal growth, spiritual growth, relationships, love and romance, fun and time off, money and assets, and then my tribe or community. And for every one of those, you're just going to put in what's your vision for that element. After you do that column, just do the next column. And whatever you wrote in that first column, just ask yourself why, and just write it down. Whatever it ends up being, just let it. And then when you're done, you'll have a high level of basically what do I want and why. And you can, when it's staring back at you from the page, it's kind of undeniable, and it will really help you move in the right direction. So I hope that helps you guys. Great.
Yeah, thanks.
So part 3,